Welcome back to another video, guys. Today I'm going to be going over more of an educational aspect of trading, which is, just technical analysis and just charting in general. So I'm more of a technical analysis type of trader. I don't really look at fundamentals too much unless I'm investing in long term or unless I'm looking at like penny stocks for like a swing, such as HT or BBIG. So today I'm just going to go over, hopefully you guys are able to see my screen. So today I'm just going to go over, things I look at when I'm playing a stock, key levels, indicators, all that type of good stuff, and just things I would recommend to you guys. And let's just get started. So the main thing you guys always want to look at is a thing called support and resistance. Now support is where a stock usually goes down to. It's under the current price. Usually it's where it usually tends to have a bunch of bounces and then continues to go up. So let me show you guys an example. So right now I'm looking at the stock DDD, and what I'm seeing here is that the stock has had some support. So if I go, I'll put a line right there. It's usually drawn by lines, things like that. So what I'm looking at here is that the stock bounced here once, twice, three times. Every time it gets down to this 26.34 level, the stock tends to have a nice bounce, right? If you guys are looking at that, that's called a support line. So what's happening there is the stock is getting shorted down, and what everyone is doing is they're selling, and then buyers see that it's a previous support level, from right here. This is a resistance, we'll get to that in a bit. But what they're seeing is people are selling, and then around here is usually where buying pressure kicks up, and then this is where investors like me, day traders, intraday traders, all these type of multi-day traders, all these type of people start buying up the stock at this level. So what does that mean? Why are they buying up? Is because they see a lot of other people doing the same thing, right? And the stock tends to bounce from this area. So whenever it gets down to this level, what you can assume is, okay, unless it has a clean breakout and holds under that level, as you can see, it broke out here, but it wasn't able to hold, it bounced right back, it should have a nice run. So today, we played DDD. I was calling out on my Twitter as well. It bounced down to this level. We saw it break up, and you could see on one of my indicators, one of my algorithms. I'll link it down below in the description. I'll give you guys like a free trial or whatever. You guys can use it for 7 days. Over here, once I get a confirmation of a bounce on the support, you could add the stock and then eventually catch this entire run to the upside, right? So now we're on to the next thing, right, which is resistance. Now what the heck is resistance, right? So if support is where a stock goes down to and then bounces up, resistance is the exact opposite, where the stock goes up to but then shoots down. So let me show you guys an example. So right here, right off the bat, this was today's resistance that I was looking at, guys. So what happened is the stock actually at a resistance level, I'll show you guys a resistance point right here, so you guys can see the stock ran all the way up to this 26.34 area and rejected, right? But you're gonna be like, Shinobi, you were just saying that was support. Well, guys, resistance can turn to support if the stock goes higher than the resistance, and then the support can turn to a resistance if the stock drops below. So right here in this example, this resistance, it rejected, but once it broke above, it actually used this exact resistance right here as a support level, just because it's a familiar level, and investors and traders are comfortable with that level, and that's just how trading is. Resistances turn into supports and vice versa. So you might be wondering, what happens when a stock doesn't bounce on a support or doesn't reject out a resistance? So what happens is usually that stock's gonna make a big move. So if it breaks support, you can really you can come to the understanding that the stock is gonna make a nice dive down and isn't really gonna continue bouncing, and it's probably gonna see some short-term downside. But if the stock breaks resistance, you can expect some nice upside as well. So right here you guys can see this resistance. Once we broke, we ran up $2, right, or $1. We had a nice little run, and you can see it consolidates for a little, breaks up above this resistance at 27.70, and it runs up nicely to 28.50 ish. This is DDD, so it's not gonna move like $15-16 at a time, but it's moving nice chunks, and it was moved 10%, stuff like that. It's moving a decent amount for its stock size. Let's go over some examples of other stocks that have this. So let's go to Tesla. Tesla is always a good example to use. So right here, I'm gonna remove all the drawings I already have, and we're just gonna come here and find our supports and resistances. So right off the bat, I can tell you that right here is a resistance because it rejected once. So I'll actually just draw it rejected once, twice, 3 times, right? And then you could see when it broke this 589 level, the previous day's resistance, the stock went from 589 all the way to 615, right? You can see the algo called long. So, you know, that's how you can use resistance breaks to the upside. Now let's check support breaks. So let me remove the drawings again. I apologize for those who think my chart is very wonky, or, you know, it's just how I trade. I trade with you know, my algorithms, and, you know, they work for me. So if you guys want, you know, from now on, if you guys want, I'll turn it off so you guys can see it better. But for me, this is just how I trade, and this is just what's comfortable for me. So I'm just gonna, you know, show you guys how I trade. You know, that's just what I'm gonna do. So right here, you guys can see this was a support right here. Then once it broke under, it came to retest, used it as a resistance. So support turned to resistance after that. Then next thing you know, it goes from 581 all the way down to 540. So pretty simple. And then you can see that support that turned resistance. Once it broke above, you can see it rejected there. And then when it broke above, it ran nicely to 597. Used that as support again. Once it broke under, it retested, broke above. Then from there, you guys could see it had a nice little run again. So what can you guys conclude from this video? Well, the main points I want you guys to understand from this video is that support and resistances should be used more often than anything else. You know, the support and resistances are basically supply and demand zones, but just at a smaller scale. And you guys should definitely check these out for, you know, level 2, you know, price action. This should be up there with everything you use, in my opinion. This is what I use the most, right? So this is how I find my entries, where to buy, where to sell, all that type of good stuff. So this was just a quick rundown just to give you guys an introduction to it. I'll definitely be making a more advanced video hopefully this week if I can get it out, and then from there you guys can learn, and then just hit me up with any questions. If you guys want to check out the algo I'm using on screen right now, you know, click the link in the bio. You guys will get a free 7-day trial. And yeah, for sure, just subscribe, like, comment any questions you guys have, and video ideas for the next video. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.